Commission for Gender Equality is calling for stronger political will to advance gender equality across all sectors of society. Speaking at the launch of 5 new legal and research reports in Sandton, Johannesburg, Commission CEO Dennis Matotoka says political parties must lead by example, embedding gender equality in their policies and practices. He warned that without this commitment, inequality becomes visible in the party list and representation, undermining progress towards a more inclusive democracy.
We as the Commission are of a firm view that if we are going to achieve gender equality, it requires a concerted effort from all role players and from all sectors of society. And we see political parties as potential engines for change in the country if gender equality is prioritized. We are of the view in terms of our report that there is a need to have political will to embed political parties' policies and practices around the principle of gender equality. If the political parties cannot embed gender equality in their policies and practices, it becomes evident in terms of their party list, which fails to achieve equity.
And the U.S. President Donald Trump's designate to the next U.S. ambassador to South Africa has been pressed during his confirmation hearing as to whether he agreed that the allegation that South Africa was engaged in genocide against white Afrikaners was absurd. Leo Brent Basel III was asked to clarify his position by Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen in this exchange.
If you were to talk to those people who are involved, they fear...
Mr. Bazell, I'm sorry, genocide is a legally defined issue. No. It's not a question of someone's impression. There's a legal definition for it. To your knowledge, has the State Department legal advisor concluded that the government of South Africa is engaged in genocide?
Senator, I don't know that answer, but Senator...
No, it's a straightforward question. I'm not going to... It's a straightforward question. There's a legal definition of genocide. I want to know if you agree that that's an absurd claim made by the President of the United States.
Senator, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't address it that way.
And the Pentagon has announced its new generation press corps who will be permitted to report from the U.S. Defense Headquarters. Over 60 journalists, largely from far-right platforms, have signed the new restrictive media policy agreement. They have also received accreditation at the BBC's Beyond reports.
Just a day after the new generation press corps was ushered in, another controversial alt-right journalist has joined the fray. Brianna Morello from Alex Jones's conspiracy theory program, InfoWars, an outlet which lost the civil case for falsely claiming that the Sandy Hook school shooting never happened. Joining her will be a plethora of right-wing influencers, including Turning Point USA's media venture Frontlines and MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell's Lindell TV. Earlier this month, all the major news outlets, including Fox News, walked out and handed in their Pentagon passes in defiance of the new policy, which prohibits the publishing of material not explicitly approved for release.
For any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I am Matapelo Mahape.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
In our sports headlines, Orlando Pirates will have to avoid an early exit from the African Champions League this weekend. And Kenya's Ruth Chepngetich handed a 3-year ban for doping violation. I'll be back with these and other stories at the bottom of the hour.
Africa Update, your daily dose of African insights with Lulu Gaboo on Channel Africa.
It is 12:07 Central African time, and we're coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa. Thank you to Matapelo Mahape with our news update and Figileli Ngwati with our sports headlines. We're coming to you live on DSTV's Audio Bouquet Channel 802, OpenView Channel 628, and on www.channelafrica.co.za, as well as on the SABC Plus app, available on the Apple and Google Play stores. Join us in conversation on our social media platforms. That's on X, Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube at Channel Africa 1. On Facebook at Channel Africa, you can also send us your comments and voice notes to +2763 at 406-9126. Hashtag Africa Update, and let us know which country you're in. And if you have any stories that you'd like us to highlight or to focus on, send us an email. It is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or give us a call on +2711 714 4459.
Your window to the continent and beyond. Africa Update. Only on Channel Africa. Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Well, today on hashtag Africa Update Asks, a protest is underway in South Africa against amendments that would criminalize baby savers and force the closure of life-saving facilities where desperate mothers can go and leave their babies in a secure environment. Now, our question to you today is, should governments be allowed to close such facilities where they are assisting desperate mothers? Share your thoughts and your views on all our social media platforms. That's on X, Instagram, at Channel Africa 1, on Facebook at Channel Africa. You can also send us your comments and voice notes to +2763 at 406 9126. Hashtag Africa Update Us.
Africa Update. Your daily dose of African insights with Lulu Gaboo on Channel Africa.
It is 12:09 Central African time, and we're coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa. Our South Africa's former police minister, Bheki Cele, has rubbished many of the statements of his successor, Senzo Mchunu. Mchunu, who has been placed on special leave, explained to Parliament's ad hoc committee the reasons why he decided to disband the political killings task team. The committee was established to look into allegations of criminal infiltration, corruption, and political interference in the justice system. KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi made these allegations in July this year. Mkhwanazi, among others, accused Mchunu of political interference that led to the disbandment of the PKTT. Cele oversaw the task team during his tenure as police minister between the years 2018 and 2024. Zaline Merrington has more.
Mchunu told the committee one of the reasons for his decision to disband the PKTT was because before he even took office, a decision for disbandment was made, and that the unit had been operating while unfunded since 2022. Cele, on the other hand, told MPs that a decision was made in 2023 by the interministerial committee that he headed that the PKTT will continue with its work.
I don't remember anywhere as a person that was almost involved at all in the understanding of activities. I don't remember the team being disbanded until I saw the letter that was written on the 21st December.
The 31st of December.
31st of December, when we were drinking and dancing.
Mchunu also explained he felt other parts of the country had bigger murder rates than KZN, and therefore he wanted resources spread more evenly. Here is Cele's response to that.
No, Chairperson, I hope it's not sour grapes. I want to make this disclaimer. I'm saying, if the measurement is that we withdraw the focus in dealing with this violence because only one person has died, we can also withdraw where there is nobody that has died. There is no minister that has been killed. So withdraw from those that are not dying and leave a little bit for those that are still dying. That's what I'm saying. It's hypothetical, but that's what I'm saying.
Mchunu not only denied having links with attempted murder accused Vusi Musikat Matlala, he even got an affidavit from him while in a maximum prison. But Cele told the committee that Matlala told him a meeting took place that was arranged by the controversial businessman Brown Mogotsi.
He's telling you that he met with Mogotsi and with Minister Mchunu,
yes.
And it was about the funding
of the project of becoming a president or deputy president. This is Kat telling me why he wanted to meet me. But what puzzled him there, for him to want to meet me, he was told by the minister that we'll work together so long we don't come close to Cele and Zuma. So that's why he says he realized that there is a game, some political games.
Cele concurred with Mkhwanazi's allegations that corruption is not only in the police service, but across the criminal justice system.
I hope somebody will look at the correctional service. How do they communicate? If you go to any correctional center today and you take cellular at 11 and you go there at 5, we'll find the new ones. We'll find the new. Who bring them? And those cellular, they don't walk there. That here we are, phone. Somebody brings them there. And who is that?
And that is the former police minister of South Africa, Bheki, ending that report by Zelene Merrington in Parliament.
Your window to the continent and beyond. Africa Update. Only on Channel Africa. Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Our candidates in Ivory Coast presidential election have held their final rallies as the campaign officially concluded in the West African nation of 30 million people. The country goes to the polls on Saturday with incumbent President Alassane Ouattara seeking a fourth term. This will bring his rule over the cocoa-rich nation to almost 2 decades. 8.7 million people have registered to vote in the election, with 4 opposition parties challenging Ouattara. More from Alfred Boulakali, Regional Director of Article 19 Senegal and West Africa.
I think there are really 2 risks, and it's really important, I think, here to stress that Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, as it's known, is one of the most important countries in the whole of West and tropical Africa. It's the second largest economy in the region after Nigeria, a very, very dynamic economy. It's the world's biggest cocoa producer. It's one of the most influential countries in the whole Western African region. And it's been a key partner for the international community, a strong ally on issues such as climate change, stability in the Sahel, global issues. And Alassane Ouattara has been one of the most influential and respected statesmen in the region over the past 14 years or so. But that is, all those things explain why the loss of faith, if you like, the questions about this election are so important. The country has had a very, very difficult past. From 2003 to 2011, there was a series of political crises. There was partition. There were at least 2 bouts of civil conflict, partly motivated by really difficult, painful identity politics. And all that has been, not completely, but largely healed in the years from 2011 onwards, the past 14 years. But after Ouattara had done his second term, so that ran out in 2020, he ran for a third term under a new constitution which had been drawn up a few years earlier. And that was a bit contentious, but many people understood because he'd been planning to retire and his chosen successor had stood down. His chosen successor had had a heart attack, and so Ouattara, if you like, stepped into the breach at the last minute, and many people understood. But this time around, it's quite different. Ouattara himself had said at the beginning of this year that there were plenty of potential successors on the government side in his own camp. He's spoken in the past of the need to hand over to a new generation. And on the opposition side, you didn't just have what you might call old school political leaders of his own generation with a past involvement in those crises from before, like former President Gbagbo, but you also had Tidjane Thiam, a one-time minister, but who's in his 60s, who's younger. He'd been a chief executive of Credit Suisse, and before that, chief executive of the financial giant Prudential. So somebody who'd had another career and represented, if you like, a moment of change. So the fact that both of these 2 figures are shut out means that many Ivorians feel they're being denied a meaningful choice.
And now in the main hall of the Grand Egyptian Museum in Egypt's Giza stands the colossal statue of ancient Egyptian King Ramses II, one of the country's most iconic monuments, welcoming visitors touring the site ahead of the museum's official opening on the 1st of November 2025. Our SABC News correspondent Vanessa Chan has more.
One of Egypt's most iconic monuments, this colossal statue of Pharaoh Ramses II welcomes visitors to the new Grand Egyptian Museum, which officially opens on the 1st of November. The 3,200-year-old statue made a remarkable journey over many decades to reach its current home. It was discovered in an ancient city of Memphis in 1802 and restored from pieces to its full height of 36 feet. It stood for decades in Cairo's central Ramses Square before ending up at the museum in Giza, near the pyramids. How was this huge statue, weighing about 91 US tons, moved around? Archaeologist Aliyah Yusuf explains.
Some foreign consultants had said it would be impossible to move a statue of that size. So an experiment was conducted using a model with the same weight and height as the original statue, and it was successful. Then in 2006, the actual move took place, transporting the statue from Bab el Hadid in Ramses Square to the Grand Egyptian Museum. It was a very successful operation. The transportation cart was specially designed to absorb vibrations, and the statue was carefully wrapped in foam padding for protection. After that, the statue arrived here. The journey took about 10 hours. It wasn't easy, but it was completed successfully, both during the experiment and during the actual move.
The monument was finally installed in 2018 after the long and expensive operation. Under construction for more than 20 years, the museum was initially scheduled to open in 2012, but the launch was repeatedly delayed due to cost overruns and political turmoil.
That was SABC News correspondent Vanessa Chan ending that report. It is 21 after 12 Central African Time.
Your window to the continent and beyond. Africa Update. Only on Channel Africa. Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Gcele has implicated Mkhunu in a conspiracy to have him arrested for corruption. Gcele also alleged that of the former police minister of South Africa, who is addressing the ad hoc committee in Parliament. He also alleged that Mkhunu and murder-accused Vusumuzi Kat Matlala conspired to have crime intelligence head Dumsani Khumalo arrested. Meanwhile, the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, has withdrawn allegations that the former minister Gcele received money from Matlala. Gcele also criticized Mkhunu's decision to disband the political killings task team. And for more on this, we are joined on the line by Andy Mashaila, a former Interpol ambassador and security expert. Andy, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Good afternoon, Lulu, and to the lovely listeners of your powerful show, Midday.
Now, Andy, just given the serious allegations made by the former police minister, Bheki Cele, against Minister Mkhunu, what implications do you think this will have for the credibility of the current administration and the fight against corruption in the country?
Minister Bheki Cele's testimony and delivered with passion and with animation throws the credibility of the criminal justice system under the bus, especially Minister Mkhunu's dreams of becoming the president or the deputy president. That dream has now gone in flames. It is now ashes to ashes today, given what Minister Bheki Cele told us yesterday. Told us, meaning the people of South Africa as well as the ad hoc committee.
Now, how do you assess the potential validity of Gcele's claims that, you've just touched on it and quite interestingly so, is this the norm where if an individual has some presidential ambitions and, does it always end up with underhandedness or alleged underhandedness that comes into play?
Lulu, we have heard that the president, Ntate Ramaphosa, has gone to court to seal the names of those who donated to his campaign of becoming the president. And other members of various political parties, including his own party, might also look at asking people for funding of their campaigns, especially when they have aspirations of that nature. Some of it will come straight, and some of it will come in this suspicious way and manner that leads you to be sealing the names of those who contributed towards your campaign. Who knows, Lulu? Maybe Ntate Makala might be one of those who contributed in the 2017 CR presidential campaign. Who don't?
All right, we've lost that connection to Andy Mashaila while Tracy tries to get him back on the line, because this is getting a bit, especially in conjunction with the Madlanga Commission, which is also underway after the 6th of July, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's media briefing on alleged corruption in the justice system as well as the South African police services. It is 25 after 12 Central African time, and we're coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa.
Your window to the continent and beyond. Africa Update. Only on Channel Africa. Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Meanwhile, in the Madlanga Commission, Witness B has concluded her testimony. Now, the Commission of Inquiry was established by President Cyril Ramaphosa. It is set up to investigate the allegations of misconduct, political interference and corruption in the police and justice system. Witness B has been testifying at the Commission for the past 2 days. One of the cases that took center stage was the killing of Aman Swart, a Vereeniging engineer who was shot multiple times in April 2024 in a case of mistaken identity. 4 people have since been charged for his assassination, including alleged cartel member Katiso KT